I didn't realize how bad society has gotten until I moved to the city. When I was in the small town or smaller towns or smaller cities, it was harder to see the problems that were going on in society. But now I see it clearly, because the cities are where, when society collapses or when things become chaotic, they become chaotic first in the city. See, the big cities in America are the canary in the coal mine. The problems in the cities are going to spread to each other cities, or they're going to be the intro or the beginning of the end and show the signs of how bad society has truly gotten. And so if you guys are looking for good dating options, yeah, you can find mates in the city. There's an abundance of mates, and a lot of people are just having sex with each other in the city. Quality of mate, probably not. City girls don't really make good quality mates, but you can find a mate in the city. You can find a body to sleep with, most definitely. But quality, probably not. But there is two reasons why I figured this out, just living and being in the city. There's only two reasons why you move here to the city, because outside of these two reasons, there's no other. It doesn't make sense to live here. And this is to any city across the world, in the United States, or etc. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you like the video. And if you guys want to support, all the ways you can are in the description below, because these are the only two reasons why you move to the city. And you could add in a 2.5, right? If you've been raised in the city, this is all you know, this is all you're used to. But only really two reasons. God dang, this freaking thing. You either move to the city to have fun and or make money. There's a lot of good paying jobs. If you have the credentials, if you have the skills, if you're trying to start a business, absolutely you should start in the city, because there's a lot more people to sell to. People are looking for more specific products and specific businesses to solve their needs. So absolutely, if you're coming here to make money, if you're coming here for a higher paying job, if you're coming here for more opportunity, absolutely, that is why you move to the city. And in combination of that, or another reason separately, is to have fun. There's lots of different places to try, different activities and engagements you guys can get into, different women to date and have sex with. So if you're not here to make money and or have fun, you're wasting your time here. This is why cities are normally young people's territory, or their season in life. Because once you get older and you see the city for what it actually is, or you're a mature person, the city is quite disinteresting. And this is why. The cost of living in the city is unaffordable. You're going to spend a lot more money on gas because you're going to be commuting to the city. Lots of traffic, lots of rude drivers, everybody angling and try to get over on each other on the highway. It's actually quite dangerous if you guys are driving on the highway. It's fast paced. Just the commute, just you going to work and commuting back and forth, that by itself is exhausting. You're expending a lot of mental energy that maybe you guys don't really take into account as to why you're so excessively tired at the end of the day, or you don't want to go out and to social events, or you don't have time to work out. It's because it's just those two things alone. If you're working long hours at work and just commuting back and forth, and the amount of traffic just takes a lot out of you. But here's the meat and potatoes as to why it doesn't make sense to live in the city. Guys, there's absolutely no social cohesion in the city. You don't know your neighbors, and that's really a dangerous thing the more you think about it. Especially if you're not in a suburb or you're not in a wealthy part of town. If you don't know your neighbors, how can you truly trust them? That's a valid question you guys need to take into account. So, no social cohesion. There's so many different cultures. There's a portion of the city that doesn't even speak English or speak the native language of wherever you are, what country you're in. There's no community to where you guys can rely on one another and trust each other. And if one of you guys fall on bad times, you guys can depend on each other. You're left alone in the city. You're alone in a crowded space of people. And what's even more crazy is the more people there are, the more psychopaths there are. The more people there are, the more people that, this is why being on the highway, this is why you never know what's on people's minds, what makes all this stuff so dangerous. So one person over there on the highway, he's just got yelled at on his job, or he just got fired, and so he's mad. This woman over here, she's late to her child's practice, so that's a problem that she's paying for. She's stressed out. This guy over here, he's high on cocaine. This guy over here, he doesn't care about anything. It's why his vehicle's so beat up. He's broke. He doesn't really have any reason to really take anything seriously. He doesn't have anything to lose. And so there's so many different things and personalities you're coming in contact with. This is why crime is so heavy in the city. Because you guys are living in such close proximity with no community, in a vast majority of different life situations and different personality types, and you're amongst all these different things that most people don't take into account. So why the hell would you live in the city if you're not here to have fun, if you're not here to work hard and establish some kind of wealth? You're wasting your time. There's no social benefit here unless you're social about having fun and going out to the clubs and trying different restaurants and all that. And so, and plus there's we're stacked on top of each other, and they try to sell you on a view of what. And if you want to get a view, go to the damn Grand Canyon or something. If you want a view, get a telescope and look into the space or something. The view of what? They stack you on top of each other like sardines. And so the kitchen is on the first floor. So if the kitchen catches on fire, how are you going to get down when you're on the 6th floor? And so oftentimes you have to leave the city because the city is so stressful. So many different people, personalities, and things you're dealing with. Work, family, traffic, no community. So all of these things are stressing you out, which is why the city, and plus you're not in nature. You're around buildings and infrastructure. You're not seeing trees and animals and all this stuff unless it's people's dogs and they're defecating all over the place, and people aren't picking up the defecation, which is why people have established businesses where they'll come and really scoop up dog feces because people are so lazy. Anyway, and then this is why you have to get away from the city. You have to because there's so much noise, you need clarity and peace of mind, which is why the city can be so distracting. Which is why certain athletes and certain celebrities, they have to leave certain cities because there's just too many distractions. Miami, there's too many fine, attractive women. LA, there's too many fine, attractive women. You have to get away. So many different vices that you can get into. And so when you're in the city, you have to worry about having too much fun. But anyway, guys, I wanted to bring this to you because, you know, a lot of people are lying to you and saying that the city is the best thing since sliced bread. Yet to certain people, but the city is not the move long term. You know, people are, you know, worried about it, over fantasize the wrong things that aren't really tangible that help you. Which is why a lot of loneliness and unhappiness is in the city for the same reason, because you guys don't have any social connection to anybody. You're alone in a crowd. That's my thoughts. Hopefully you guys got some insight from this, or you guys got some common camaraderie from this, because maybe you were thinking the same thing. But that's my video. You guys have a good day, good week, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.